Just trying to let the battery die.
Let's look at the what you filmed.
Here's our Marriott.
We should be here somewhere.
Huh?
Suspect on there is today.
We should be here somewhere.
British left Charleston British flags.
Marriott's right. While we're sitting here waiting, figured I'll film our Courtyard Marriott.
Show our
It's our room behind the trees. We're waiting on our shuttle. Just saw it a second ago. We don't know where it is now. The clouds are moving in. We're going to go up to Calhoun Street. We're going to go around the visitor center. That's our rental car. Look at the funky tag it has. That's their tags around here. There's Shilsies.
She's really good to her. And then, of course, she gets their check. She gets every month. And if he gets paid for like a job, they get that. They can't wait. But she said, I had to y'all get that.
Hang on, Cal, next stop.
Well, she's been doing that hard. She's really got that far. 7 years.
Hang on, Cal, next.
So what do we want to get on the Market Street, right? Yeah, I think if you don't keep buying those signs, walk right across. She's got it down pat pretty well. So visit your daughter here.
Hang on, wait, grab that. Then they went from here to here and July.
Truck there.
They came there, they were here. They drove from far. They drove from here to Buffalo. Ice. You know what kind of store it is?
Jewelry.
What hotel?
Charleston Place.
We've been putting cream on it.
Textile Market and Church.
That's where we're going.
Exit called over that market shop to the restaurant stand. Carry for open air market. The next stop.
Look at the organ in the back.
Ooh, wow. Wow. I'd love to hear that. No candles or a biscuit pan. They say Calhoun was buried here and then disinterred. Buried there, buried here, buried back there. Because you have to be born in Charleston to be buried here.
Where do you think his grave is?
She said they don't know.
No.
Here lie the remains of the Honorable Robert Daniel, a brave man who had long served King William in his wars both land and sea, and afterwards governed this province under the Lords Proprietors. He died on the 1st day of May in the year 1718, aged 72. Here also was buried the body of Martha Logan, who was first the wife of the above Robert Daniel, and afterwards of Colonel George Logan. She died on the 5th day of November in the year 1742, aged 58 years. This vault also contains the body of the above Colonel George Logan of His Majesty's Army, and also the bodies of his son George Logan and his son's wife Martha, who was the daughter of the Honorable Robert Daniel. So this lady was married to him, had a daughter with him. After he died, she married him, who had a son, who married together. Isn't that funny? Can we go do what I want now?
That's one of the street names. Yeah.
Well, if there's anybody from the Northeast, I'll make you feel at home. It's a subway station. The door that you originally came in 20 years ago, back of the building. This is the front of the building, the water came right up to the edge. The side of the building is more ornate. The first thing the ship can see is into the harbor. Now the Cooper River is 2.5 blocks behind me. It's filled in land. 70% of this city is filled in land. Yet every morning the water still seeps in. We have to pump it out. According to this map, right down toward from us.
What? Have you come to replace me too? Oh, forgive me. The most distinguished public building in the American colonies opened its doors. This exchange is built on the site of the old Half Moon Battery. Oh, what's that? Oh, why, it's part of the original fortifications of Charlestown. When they named the place Charlestown for King Charles II of England. Oh, careful, my feathered friend. Then, in 1679, the entire town was moved to this site. By 1704, work had begun to fortify the city. 3 bastions were built on the river, and at the midpoint stood the Half Moon Battery, the remains of which you see right here. I swear I hear their voices, see their faces. Listen, listen, do you hear that? Look, over there.
Don't be afeard, me hearties, it's just old one-armed Jim stopping by to visit. Oh, that be Major Steve Bonnet sitting there. Not looking too happy, is he? Now, he's a strange kind of pirate. A real gentleman from a good family in Barbados. But one day, he from the Spaniards, French and English and sold to the colonists. And there was merchants up plenty happy to deal with us pirates in the early days. Oh, the British laws and taxes made it so people couldn't afford the legal prices. So we was doing them a favor. Oh, he got that bright life up and got to me. And you know, there do be some very bad pirates, like Blackbeard. Blackbeard took our ship and made Major Bonnet send when he seized 8 ships right inside the Charlestown harbor. He owed some local bigwigs hostage, demanded a huge ransom and medicines. Soon after, the Major got the revenge back, and we went out Cape Fear. Got his whole soul. The Colonel went off to Major back and bought him out. And the trial just thought I never mind, made easy reports. He sentenced him to
Call for a public meeting to talk over this latest insult, the accursed Tea Act. Hey, look at this stuff. We should have dumped it in the harbour like they did in Boston. But no, armed British officials hauled all these tea chests off the ship to London and down into this cellar. Now it's my job to clean the mess up. I should be thankful to have a job, I suppose. There's thousands who don't. You know, it's not right that England should be levying taxes without our say-so. And we had a big meeting the other day. The people of Charlestown came to the Great Hall, upstairs here, to decide what to do. Well, the planters joined with us artisans and mechanics to boycott the tea. But some of the biggest
Hardship and high-handed actions. Planters and many merchants joined with the Liberty Boys, boycotting British goods to protest the various new laws and taxes without representation. And Christopher Gadsden was an eloquent speaker. Will it be asserted by any friend to the natural liberties of British subjects that in order to retain those liberties, a man must never stir out of Britain?
The First Continental Congress was convened in 1774. Charlestown sent 5 representatives. Many people did not want separation from Britain, and the revolution in South Carolina was like a civil war, with more patriots in the Low Country and loyalists upstate. Brother fought brother, and fathers fought sons. Independence was declared on July 4, 1776. A few days earlier, a British fleet of 50 ships and 3,000 men faced outnumbered but determined South Carolina forces in a fierce battle at the mouth of Charlestown Harbor. A small fort of palmetto logs on Sullivan's Island was heavily bombarded, but it held, and the fort's cannon critically damaged the British ships. At one point, the new state's blue and white flag was shot away, but a brave young Irishman named Sergeant William Jasper cried, "Don't let us fight without our color!" tied the flag to a cannon stick, leapt atop the bastion, and replaced the flag. The mauled British fleet limped back to New York. Charlestown had witnessed the first major American victory of the Revolution. Although there were more battles in South Carolina than in any other province, the war passed Charlestown by for the next 3 years. The port was open. Trade was booming. Then, in 1778, a huge fire destroyed many public and commercial buildings, together with 250 houses. The city was in poor shape, and its people prayed the expected invasion would not come. But Georgia had fallen, and by April 13, 1780, Charlestown was under siege. The incessant punishing bombardment came from all sides. The town held for 42 days. Under the terms of Charlestown's surrender, militiamen and townspeople could return home on the promise not to take up arms against the king. Later, the terms were changed, and 33 leading Charlestonians were arrested and imprisoned here in the Provost. Unknown to both prisoners and captors, 10,000 pounds of gunpowder was hidden in a secret room next to the Provost. General William Moultrie had moved the powder here for safekeeping. Among the patriots imprisoned here were Thomas Hayward and Edward Rutledge, both signers of the Declaration of Independence, and Christopher Gadsden.
I will swear no arms in St. Augustine, but we will bear it. For one day soon, the American colonies will triumph.
Wallace welcome men into the dungeon. Wallace.
How long have you been here?
The day before you was.
Okay. The day before you. Oh, he was a big guy.
Sheila, look up and tell me who that is.
Where?
Behind you.
It's the Marquis of Lafayette.
I'm curious how they got there. That one's lit. That one's not. That one's not. That one's a little bit. That one's not.
What are you talking about?
None of the rest ones are. Oh, it's an art. While we were in Charleston, I caught a fish and got it mounted. It's going to be shipped home pretty soon.
Where are we going to put it?
We had lunch there this morning. was on this date.
We had lunch there.
Breakfast. Sorry.
You're cut off. The guy who created it was using it in the war effort to sink Union ships in Charleston Bay.
Would he run in the side of it?
I guess he would shoot a torpedo. But every time they went to test it in the bay, it drowned the people in it. And then the guy that created it drowned in it. And oh, here comes a big one.
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
Why are they going into the hand canal?
I don't know. Why isn't that guy holding the door for him? There's St. Matthew's Church. Embassy Suite.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Ugly.
You ever been there?
No, I've never been there.
There's suites instead of hotel rooms. When we used to go down to Miami, we used to stay there.
Your family?
Me and my sister and people.
Would that be Kelly Ann?
Not just my big.
Well, why would you call her my sister?
Because she is my sister.
My sister-in-law.
Well, I should have said with your sister-in-law then. You wouldn't have
I
known.
would have thought Mary.